Gary and Adam. How you doing? Good afternoon, good afternoon. It's good to see you all through a camera, I guess, or on TV whenever you're watching this. My name is Donny Samson. I'm our CEO here at Samson Properties, and I'm just thrilled that you're willing to click on a video here and learn a little bit more about us and our company and what we're doing here. I'm really, really proud of everything we're building here at Samson, and I'm going to try to tell you all about it here in the next hour, hour and a half. If you can't hang with the whole presentation, that's okay. We got it broken up in parts, and you can come back later and finish, but I'd love for you to finish the whole thing. I think it's worth your while. I'll try to tell the whole story as quickly but as good as I can. When I talk about Samson Properties, what I like to do is first just kind of tell you where we are, how we got to where we are today. We are based in Chantilly, Virginia. My dad, Donny Samson, started Samson Properties. He's our founder and owner. He's been selling real estate since 1986. In 2000, he started his own real estate company, Samson Companies. Back then, he just loved the passion of real estate. He loved the profession of real estate, I guess. And he just wanted everybody to be a realtor. He loved the flexibility of it. He loved that if you worked hard, you could make more money. The more houses you sold, the more money you got. It was directly translatable, and he loved that fact. When he opened his own brokerage, he really just wanted to have a couple of his buddies, have his own team, and maybe an admin, and that's where it started back in Chantilly in a small little office over in Metro Tech. Well, he never would have guessed 20 years later we'd be here where we are today. But the idea behind it back then was he just wanted to do his beat by his own drum, and that started the beginnings of what ended up where we are today. Back then, when you're 22, 23 years old like I was in 02, 03, you want to do anything that in this world that isn't what your father's doing typically, right? You're going to grind your own path. Well, around that time when he was growing the company, he had recruited a buddy of mine, and he was a great guy, lots of personality, but he wasn't the best book smart guy in the world. But he started succeeding in real estate, and about 6 months in, my now wife of 17 years, Meredith, looked at me and she goes, "Donny, Took here's kind of an idiot. I mean, he's killing it in real estate. Maybe you should get into real estate." I was like, you're right on both those things. He is kind of an idiot, and he is killing in real estate, so maybe I should get in myself. So 2003, I got my license. I was about our 25th agent here at Samson Properties, and I jumped into the career here with my dad, and I'll pick up my story here in a minute. So from 2000 to 2011, we were what I would call an 80-20 company. 80% to the realtor, 20% to the company. And back in the early 2000s, that was a great split. We went through the rise of 03 to 06 was super fun for everybody in the real estate industry, and then 06 to 2011, not so much fun. Everybody had to figure out new ways to smooth out their business to kind of get to that next level. Well, two big things happened during this time period. One, in 2009, my dad opened Cardinal Title Group. We started our own title company that he owns today, and we own that 100%. So, because we started to realize, well, we can make some ancillary income if we have our own title company over here to make money if we bring the transactions there. The second thing that started to happen was we started to feel this negative pressure against commissions. We started to feel like, okay, 80-20 is not so great a split anymore. All of a sudden there's 85-15s and 90-10s. 100% companies were getting some good market share around Northern Virginia. So we started to investigate for about 6 months. My dad and I talked, and my dad said, you know what? Let's flip its head. Let's do it all in one day. Let's flip to a 100% transaction company, and let's try to kill people with kindness, and hopefully they'll use our title company. Well, the other thing we had to do was we had to recruit, so we started to say, well, we're going to need to recruit because we're losing a lot of money, right? We just went from 80-20 to 100%. We had about 150 realtors at the time. They loved us. They just got a 20% raise overnight, but we're going to have to recruit to backfill that 20%, if we were going to make this new plan work. The idea when you think about 80-20 and 100% though is, if we're stereotyping it, is when you work for an 80-20 type company, you're giving 20% to the company, but you're kind of willing to, you think that with that push comes a pull where, okay, I'm going to get education, I'm going to get marketing help, I'm going to get good broker support, nice locations. I'm going to get all these things, and I'm willing to pay some type of price for that. let's say 20%. When I work for a 100% company, the stereotype is, well, I don't really expect a lot because I'm not taking any of my money, right? I can't appreciate, I can't need all these things and then still want to keep all my own money. So there's kind of a trade-off, right? Well, what if we could be both? What if we could be that company that gave everything and anything to all their agents and let them keep all their money? That was the dream. Now, in 2011, we weren't quite there. We needed to build up a lot of the foundation and the support and the services that we have here today, and that's what I'm going to talk mostly about the next hours, why I think today we've accomplished that goal. We are the company that gives you everything and more, locations and support and marketing and print centers and Facebook ads and everything, KV cores and everything you can imagine I'll talk about. And we let you keep all your money. And people say, okay, Donny, how can that possibly? The secret is we own our own title company. I don't pull punches. People look at me, they're like, how can you make money then? You can't make it off just an admin fee and make enough to pay for all of this that you have going on. We think we can't pay you, we can't make you, and we can't incentivize you to use Cardinal Title Group. But if we take great care of you, and we give you lots of chances to succeed, and we help build your career, you're going to be like, how can I help, Donny? Oh, you use the title company? Great. They do a great job? Awesome. I'm going to keep using it. And if people keep using the title company, then we keep taking that money and pouring it back in, and I'm going to help make both companies become great. So if we roll back to the timeline here, we'll get to today. So 2011, we started building. In 2016, my dad came to me. We were about 700-800 agents at the time. And he said, Donny, I need some help running this place. We're getting bigger. I had a successful career at this point for 13 years. I had sold, over 300 million in homes, was doing about 30 to 40 million a year at the end there. My team was doing a little bit more that I ran. I'm not saying how much success I had in real estate to say, oh, Donny's bragging about his sales. No, it's because I was a realtor. I was in the trenches doing all the things you're doing. My dad before me was a realtor. That experience helps us build a company by realtors, for realtors, that can help you all succeed in your everyday. My job, there's two things that I'm passionate about here at Samson. Creating a company that helps you sell more homes than you did last year. Go from 5 to 10, from 10 to 15, from 20 to 30. Whatever those goals are for you, we want to help provide the tools, support, education, marketing help that you can do to get that next level. My second passion is to create a company that you love working for. Because if you love working for us, then you'll love to support us, you'll love to grow with us, you'll love to be proud of Samson Properties. So in 2016, my dad came to me and said, okay, help me build this foundation up more. We're starting to get to a good point mass-wise, financially. Let's take this thing to the next level. So I became our COO in 2016. From 16 to 19, I helped build our foundation, a lot of the tools and support that we're talking about here today. In 2019, my dad slowly went into retirement. I became our CEO, and I'm in charge of everything, with all the companies and the day-to-day operations of everything. I think that our goal in 2011 was to be the best of both worlds. Was a pipe dream back then, but today we've accomplished that goal, and I'm going to show you more about how we got there by being the best real estate company out there and letting you keep all your money. Before I jump into more of the details, I want to kind of end with how my dad built this characteristics of our company was based on. It was two rules: be nice and be professional, and then one idea that was built around. So the be nice, be professional mindset is, it's simple but prophetic. Look, we're all going to make mistakes every day. In our business, in our lives, everywhere, right? But if we treat people the right way, if we're nice and we're professional and we have great ethics and we're working together, we want to create this family atmosphere of good people. Bad eggs can't be in our family anymore. I'm very thankful that we're at the point financially and growth-wise with this company that if you're going to do things the wrong way, you're going to be a bad person, you can't do it with us. You're not going to find anybody more passionate about their company's reputation than me. I'm 41 years old and I'm in charge, and I plan on being in charge of this company for 20 or 30 years, Lord willing. Well, my last name's on the company, so I care more than anybody about the reputation. As we grow bigger and bigger, I want great people out there spreading the great, building us up every day so that I'm more and more proud. When I introduce myself and it's like, Donny Samson, oh, Samson Properties. Oh, I love it because I work with such and such. That reputation is super important to me, and my dad started with that baseline of us, and we're just making it stronger every day. The last idea that he wanted us to build our company around was pay it forward. Pay It Forward is a movie that was popular 20 years ago. Somebody does something for you, don't pay it back, pay it forward. Well, that idea is really our business plan when you think about it, right? Because I'm going to pour into you. Don't pay it back to me. Pay it forward. Try to use the title company. They do a great job. Great. We'll keep supporting them. We're going to take that money and I'm going to pay it forward. I'm not going to go put it all in my pocket. I'm going to put it into both companies. I'm going to make Cardinal Title and Samson Properties the very best companies they can be. Give them both a chance to thrive and succeed every day. And that's what we're doing over and over and over again. And that's why realtors are loving it. And they're continuing to grow, continuing to thrive. And we'll talk more about that. So that's kind of a lot where we're about, how we got to where we are today, 2021. We'll kind of dig into some more of those details here as we go along. I start with the commission, 100% commission. I'm not naive. That is a reason I can be as charming as I want to attempt to be up here today, but the money is what's most important, so I want to get out that first for some of you all, or for everybody. We are a 100% company. We have 2 fees. There are no monthly fees, no E&O insurance, nothing like that. If you don't sell a house, you don't pay us anything. Now, the 2 fees that when you do sell a house, 1, everybody pays this fee, a $345 admin fee or brokerage fee. Now, that's really client paid. 97% of our people are having their client pay that admin fee or brokerage fee on their Alta, and they never have to pay $1 of it. The second one is going to apply to some of you, okay? Not all of you, and I'll explain more in a second. A $495 transaction fee. So you have the admin fee and then a transaction fee. Everybody has the admin fee, transaction fee only some. You pay that $495 out of your commission until you make it into the Cardinal Club. The Cardinal Club. Once you get in the Cardinal Club, you never pay a $495 fee the rest of your entire life with Samson Properties. Well, that sounds great. How do I get in there? If you've done $3 million or 8 transactions in the last 12 months. Many of you watching right now have already attained that. You've done 8 transactions or $3 million in the last 12 months. You would start from day 1 in the Cardinal Club. You would never pay me a $495 your entire life. Once you're CC forever. I don't care if you take 5 years off and then you hop back in, you're always CC with us. You only sell 7 houses next year. Hey, that's fine. I'm not checking your numbers ever again. Your Cardinal Club forever. No $495. Great. So you can attain that from your previous sales. You walk in the Cardinal Club, maybe you're close. You've done 4 or 5. Will you join us? Sell a couple more. It's a rolling 12 months. So if you have a good winner, you send us an email on February 1st. You say, hey, check my last 12 months. I think I'm in. We check up the numbers. Great. Now you're at 8 or 3 million. We throw confetti. We tell everybody you're in the Cardinal Club. We tell accounting no more 495s, and you're good to go forever. All that's true except the confetti, not so much. We don't throw confetti every time. We'd have to have a confetti room over here for everybody that gets in the Cardinal Club. But the idea is that you can earn it through here. There's no anniversary date, no recast, no new cast. If you don't get it, it's not just calendar year. Wow, I just missed in December. I got to start all over again. No. Rolling 12 months. The most previous 12 months makes it the easiest for you to get in there. When you have a good little streak of homes, you kind of get going. Maybe you're brand new and you've never sold any. That's fantastic. We'd love to have you. Everybody was new once. I was new in 03. All of our top people were new at one point. So at some point in your career, when you get to 3 million or 8 transactions, then you get in the Cardinal Club. The other big way that people get in the Cardinal Club is teams. So, John Smith over here with ABC Realty. John sold $10 million last year, and he would obviously be in the Cardinal Club when he joins us because he sold $10 million. Well, John's 4 teammates didn't quite sell $10 million. They sold 4 houses each, or 6 houses each, or 3 houses each. Normal team, right? Well, those 4 automatically get to be in the Cardinal Club with John because they're on John's team. John's in Cardinal Club, they're all in Cardinal Club. I do that because I want teams to be able to grow. I don't want people to have to fight over, well, let's put it in John's name so we don't have to pay the $495. No, you're all on the same team. You're pulling on the rope the same way. You're all together, okay? And that goes for families as well, husbands and wives, families, all that kind of stuff. I want to make sure that everybody can work together, not worried about trying to figure out how we can duck that $495 fee. It also helps John to grow that team, right? If he's got agents within our brokerage or outside of our brokerage that he wants to bring in and put on his team, he now has the ability to do that because he doesn't have to pay anything. Look, teammates will work a lot of times on a team for 50-50, 60-40, 70-30. All great splits. However you want to run your team is up to you. The issue comes in this. If you're at a company where they got to pay 10 or 20% to the company first, and then that 60-40, well, now it feels more like 40-60 at the end of the day, right? Or even if you have to pay $500 or $1,000 off the top, it makes it tougher as a team member to stay in because your splits are lower, or a team leader to have all that money to keep the team going and feeding with leads and admin support and all this because you have to give out a certain percentage off the top to the company. So it makes it easier to do that. Now, one more thing on John here before I move on. Let's say John was a productive realtor last year, and he capped or whatever a certain company, and he paid his company $30,000 last year. Reasonable number, right? His 4 teammates sold less deals, but maybe they didn't have quite a good splits. Let's say they had $10,000 back to the company. Pretty reasonable numbers. So 4 times 10 is 40, plus his 30 is $70,000 that came to that company. $70,000. Do you know how much that whole team would pay if they came to Samson tomorrow? $0.00. That is a huge deal for that team. Now, let's stop for a second. Great, John and some of them are all a little bit richer, right? What the smart Johns and smart Sues and Marys and Sarahs of the world are doing is they're investing that money back into their team. What if they took just $48K of it? Not even all 70. Keep some for a rainy day. Put $4,000 a month back into the team business. How much more money would they make if they had $4,000 in advertising or a full-time $48,000 a year employee instead of giving that to the company? How much more money would they make? How many more leads would they generate? How much more could they do with that money? That $48,000 could turn into $150,000 in profit next year. That's a big deal. Instead of giving that $70,000 or $48,000 to your company, make $150,000 more next year as a team or more. Now, okay, the team's dramatic example, Donny. I'm going to do a real life example before I get on to the next thing. So, Sue Smith comes over to us, and Sue's a good, productive realtor, but Sue made $85,000 last year herself, and she paid her company $24,000. She was on 80-20 split, whatever it is. That sounds about right. That's an everyday realtor, right? Made $100,000, but gave 20 to the company, kept 80. Okay, good. I'm with you, Donny. What if Sue comes to us? She's in the Cardinal Club, no fees ever. Sue took that $24,000 she was paying her company, put $2,000 a month back into her business in a marketing or client events or whatever it is. How much more money would that $24,000 make Sue this year? If you put $2,000 a month into marketing, I gotta think you're gonna create one more transaction a month. So we take that 2, we create one $6,000 transaction a month. That's $72,000 a year. 6 times 12. $72,000 more a year that she could make. Last year she only made 80. She could make $72,000 more just by putting that money she was paying her company back into marketing to create more business. The other thing to consider is this. That's 12 more clients she helped this year. That's 12 more trees, 12 more branches on your tree. That's 12 more referral cases or repeat business. Now you're expanding that database as you make more money. It's a win-win. So all these things are why the money makes a ton of sense to come here, because we give that all back to you to run your business the way that you want instead of putting it in our pocketbooks. Excellent. So we got the money down. Next thing we're going to hop into is locations. So we have 32 locations across the DMV. I think it's 11 in Maryland, 1 in D.C., and 20 in Virginia, I believe that leaves us. We are looking at West Virginia here in the near future as well. We are licensed in West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Delaware as well, if you're interested in any of those states. We're licensed without offices there currently. Now, why so many offices, Donny? Well, a couple things. One, you joined Samson. You don't just join one office. Let's say you join the Arlington office. Great. You belong to all of Samson. You can walk into Alexandria, McLean, and Tyson's in Vienna or wherever and work whenever you want, wherever you want. You have 24/7 access to all of our offices. You can sit down at any of those beautiful drop-in stations, do work, print to the printers. You can use the conference rooms to meet clients whenever you want, as long as there's not a closing going on. But most offices have 2 or 3 conference rooms available for you to be able to use. Now, when the pandemic started, we had 20 offices, or 21 offices. Today we have 32. Donny, are you crazy? I thought people were shrinking office space, not growing it. I might be crazy, but there's three reasons that I am doubling down on office spaces. One, I think real estate can be a super lonely business, right? We didn't get into real estate to sit behind a computer in our own bedroom, staring at spreadsheets and staring at numbers and not communicate with people. You inherently got into real estate because you like people, you like talking to people, you like interacting, you're a fairly social person. But if you sit in your own house all the time, I know you can work in your house and you can work in your car, you can work wherever, but it can be lonely in the sense that what if things aren't going well? Well, then you don't have any fresh ideas, you don't have any fresh juice, you don't have any room to grow, right? You don't have that water cooler talk, right? Maybe you don't need to go in every day, but you want to go in once or twice a month to a meeting or a class or a bagel breakfast or a happy hour to communicate with other realtors and find out what they're seeing in the market and learn from each other, masterminds or whatever the case may be. We love that interaction. Not to mention the realtors like me that when I was selling, I got 4 little girls at home. I couldn't work at home all day. I just couldn't. I had to go to an office so I could focus on my business, put my business hat on, and market and make sure I was there for my clients and making all my calls, and making all my prospecting, all the things that I wanted to do. I had to get my own private space to do that. So we want to have those abilities for people. So we want that interaction and the ability for those people that want offices. The second reason that I would double down on offices is this. Look, you can work for a company and say, okay, our headquarters, our offices in Chantilly. But if you're always showing houses out there in Arlington and Alexandria and Vienna and McLean or wherever, well, what if you want to write a contract or you want to meet with a client? Look, I've written contracts on the hoods of cars, at McDonald's, at Starbucks, and everywhere else in the whole world. Clients' houses, but none of those are the best place, right? What if you had a professional office within 10 or 15 or 20 minutes, wherever you were out looking? Well, now you could be like, oh, yeah, we want to write up an offer. Let's go to my beautiful office. We'll sit in the conference room. We'll discuss everything. This is the biggest financial decision of their life. You want to sit down in a beautiful environment and go through it with them and make sure that you feel like a pro. So you've got those offices to be able to meet your clients and impress them and interact with them in a positive way. The third reason that I'm really big on offices is kind of a help me, help you situation. So I'm standing here today at Chantilly. 10 years ago, I'm out selling real estate, and I wanted to make Daddy happy and use Cardinal Title Group, right? So I'd be out in Alexandria, and I'd get a contract signed and ratified. I'd write Cardinal Title Group on it. I was all excited. And, Dad, I got another Cardinal Title Group. Here we go. And the next day, the buyers or the listing agents were like, hey, Donny, where's Cardinal Title Group anyway? Oh, it's in Chantilly. Come on, Donny. You can't expect me to go from Alexandria to Chantilly for closing. It's not reasonable, it's not convenient, it's not great, right? Well, I can't ask you all to bring all of your deals to Cardinal Title Group and our only offices in Chantilly, and then we got one in Gaithersburg in Maryland or something like that. But if I've got offices all over that you can close in any of our offices whenever you want, wherever, now it's easier for you to get the closings to Cardinal because we can close in your local office, whatever's closest to the house that you're out there showing. We also have Cardinal Title Group staff in probably 20 to 25 of those offices every single day. We have 2 or 3 staff members sitting in those offices, processing, closing files, people you get to know. They share that office. It builds the symmetry. You're like, oh, of course I'm going to bring it to Cardinal. Debbie's my processor. I love Debbie, or I love Ruby, and I close with Michael, and it's great. You get to know the people. You have that great interaction. You can walk right down the hall if you've got an issue, and you talk to them, and we work it out, and it's beautiful. So that symmetry of the 2 companies is the other great reason we keep building offices. Same thing. I'm going to West Virginia to open an office. Well, if you want to close stuff in West Virginia, you got to have that local office with the Cardinal people there that you can interact with and make sure you bring that stuff to them. So that's the third reason I'm really big on offices. The next page, we're going to talk a little bit about our growth. I think I forgot to say this at the beginning, but if you want to download this whole book, it's on joinsamson.com. You can see a note there to download everything to your, you've got the full book of all this information because you're going to forget half what I said. I did forget to mention one point about offices that Ethan's throwing up there. You can rent private offices in any of our locations. You can drop in and use everything for free, but if you want to rent your own office, they run from $250 to $500 a month. We have them available in all of our different locations, and we do rent them out. So if you want your personal space, or you want to team up with somebody else and share one, you can do that so that we can have your own space. So we do rent private offices out there all over. Now we talk about our growth. So it's a little bit humbling, and there's some stats in here, but it's kind of a job interview, right? You're learning about Samson, so I gotta tell you all our great things. So we are at 4,800 agents right now. 4,800 agents. That's quite a few amount of people. I think that you would have told, if you had told Danny and I that a couple years ago, we would have told you you're crazy. But we have 4,800 realtors currently with Samson Properties. Now, we're adding about 120 realtors a month right now. How are we adding so many realtors? Well, there's a lot of lunch and learns and talking and out there. But the biggest reason is before I told you about commitment to trying to get our realtors to love their company and want to support it. If they love our company and love working here, they're our biggest mouthpieces, right? They're the ones telling every realtor that they find, hey, I love Samson, you should come. 80% of the people that we sign up were referred by a current Samson Properties realtor. 80%. That's fantastic. And it's not one of those and I shouldn't say scheme, Donny, get yourself in trouble. It's not one of those down path and down lines, and if you sign up, I'll give you 1% forever. No, we don't have all that. Look, I would rather not pay you 1% of every single of the people you recruit's commission forever, because that means the person at the end can only make 85% of their commission because they got to pay 10 people above them. I'd rather have that person get 100% of their commission, because then they're going to be happier and they can sell homes. Instead of being a part-time recruiter, just be a realtor. That's what you want it to be, right? So people are recruiting people and telling them to come to Samson just because they love it here, not really because they're going to see any financial gain from it. Now, our growth in numbers. So 2 stats here that are, you got to bear with me for a second here. If you're a numbers person, you'll love it. But 2 years ago in 2019, we thought we did fantastic. We sold $3.8 billion in homes, $3.8 billion, and we sold just over 8,000 homes. 8,000 homes, $3.8 billion in sales. It's pretty fantastic. So that's 2019. 2019 to 2020, we jumped big time. We went from 8,000 homes to over 12,000 homes. Phew, that's a big jump. 3.8 billion to 5.6 billion in homes. That's a huge jump. I was like, never again. That was a huge push. I'm so proud. We're crushing. Well, now 2021, we're about to finish up here. We went from 8 to 12 to now we're going to have over 19,000 transactions this year at Samson Properties. In the billions, we went from 3.8 to 5.6 to we're going to finish with over 9 billion in sales this year. I'm just so proud of all the agents and all that they're crushing out there. And there's a couple ways that happens. Okay, obviously we've recruited a lot of people, and we just said that. It's a lot of numbers. But the other big thing that's hidden in there is I love stats. You can hang with me for more numbers. My passion was for helping our current realtors sell more and get better, right? Well, they gave me stats from October 1, 19 to October 1, 20. All the people that worked for us. They did 4.2 billion in sales. October 1 to October 1, 4.2 billion. Those same people the next year, from October 1, 20 to October 1, 21. So same people, the following 12 months. 4.2 billion to 6.4 billion in sales. That almost brings a tear to my eye when I hear it. Now we bring in a lot of new people, so we got over to 9. But to help everybody that currently works for you increase their business by 50 and 60% year over year, that's phenomenal. I love that part of it. That's the part that gets me the most excited. Because not even are they keeping all that money, but they're producing more sales and keeping all of that money at the same time. Increasing everybody's wealth and businesses and everything at the same time. So super proud of those stats. I will get off the numbers because I know that those can be a lot for people, but those are in the book too if you want to download that and see all that information. The next thing we're going to kind of talk about is all right, you're going to get a lot of background, the locations, the growth, but what are all these tools that you talk about, Donny? So I'm going to start with KB Core. 2 years ago, I was standing up here at the end of 19, and we didn't have a good tech stack, a website, CRM, nothing that we were giving to agents to help them thrive in this way. Now, I believe that you have to have a website. I believe that even the best referrals, if Sue tells Mary, hey, Mary, you should call Donny, he's a great realtor, what's Mary going to do before she calls me? She's going to Google me. She's going to be like, Donny Samson. If I don't come up and I don't have a website and I can't market myself online, how can she trusts me to market my home? You know, I say that in lunch with people out there, and like, I don't even go to a restaurant if they don't have a website. You have to have a website out there to be a pro nowadays. Well, I need to give you a website to do it. And you can see them on the screen there. You get your own websites. So part of KB Core, so 2 years ago I went into it, I said, I got to provide something. I investigated all the products in the industry, and I got to the 3 best that I thought were the head above going to be the best fits for us. Well, KB Core, I could tell right away, was the Mercedes, the Cadillac, the BMW in this field. The problem was this. When somebody first introduced me to KB Core, I said, well, what do you spend? And they go, well, about $1,300 a month. Well, I'm good for you. I hope it works. That's fantastic. I can't spend $1,300 a month times a couple thousand people that I got here, so this isn't going to work. So I went to New York, the Inman Conference, at the beginning of 2020, and I met with the top people in all the different brokerages, or all the different tech stacks. Well, it turns out when you came to KB Core and you say, look, I got 3,000 people, they negotiate with you a little bit. And I got that price down super low where everything you see coming across the screen is free to all of our agents. Absolutely free. Now, if you don't want to do any of this, you don't have to jump into KB Core and do anything, okay? If you just want to go do your thing, do your thing. But this tech stack and all the things that come with it can really help take your business to the next level. So what is it in there? Look, I could talk for an hour about KB Core, but I'm going to try to keep it to a couple minutes here with a brief overview. It gives you your own website, customizable, where you can customize it up, make it look like your own. DonnySamson.com. Don't take that URL. That's my name. Put your own name up there. But you got your own URL out there. That's your own website out there for free. You got your own CRM in there, a smart CRM. So a not so smart CRM is what you might be used to, and you just put in all your people, and then you got to figure out what you want to do with them, right? Well, a smart CRM is really programmed to help nurture your clients better. They're going to get follow-up texts and emails, and they're going to nurture them. They're also going to, whenever they hit a landing page or a website that you've got out there, it's going to lead validate that person. It's going to tell you, Sue Smith hit your ad. It tells you Sue Smith's phone number. I should pick a different name than Sue Smith because I'm going to tie myself up in knots. But it gives you Sue's email and her cell phone number and social media accounts it connects to you. Now you can better reach out to Sue. You can better connect with her and nurture her and turn her from a prospect into a future client and friend. Smart CRM, it gives you market activity reports. It gives you market snapshots. So a market snapshot, what's that? A market snapshot is, when I got out of the business, I had over 400 people a month getting my market snapshot. Look, we all do the cheesecake of the month and the winterize your hose bibs. In fact, somebody just posted one on Facebook yesterday, winterize your hose bibs. That's great, that's fine. But nobody really cares that much about that stuff, right? What does every single person care about? The value of their home. What's going on in their neighborhood? If I drive home today and there's a new for sale sign in my circle, I'm going to pull up that house in the MLS or Home Stamp or whatever I like to look at it as soon as I get to the driveway, right? Because I want to know everything that's going on. We all care about what's going on in our neighborhood. I want to be the person providing that information to everybody I know. So I had over 400 people. That's all your past clients, all of your friends, all the people in your church group, on your daughter's teams or your son's teams or whatever it is. If they've got a name and an email and you can pull up their address, they should get a market snapshot. It's a beautiful report once a month that tells them everything going on in their neighborhood. It makes you look like a pro, giving them information they care about. People will come back to me 6-7 years later and be like, oh, it's time to sell my home. I've been getting your market snapshots for 6 years now. Time to sell. You hear these stats all the time. I actually heard it in Inman in Vegas at a conference last week where 94% of people surveyed after they sell their home say, or buy their home, say, yeah, I would use that realtor again. I had a good experience. 94%. 13% use the same realtor again. 13%. Why? What happens? Well, they forget who we are, right? Because we don't stay connected to them. You know, I get people all the time, they get all upset. They're like, you know, my sister-in-law, I shouldn't out her, but she won't watch. But she said, Donny, I'm so angry. Like, this person such and such, they just sold their house with somebody else, and I helped them buy that house 7 years ago, and now they're listing with somebody else. I say, well, when was the last time you talked to them? Well, 7 years ago when I told them. You're not that important to them, okay? If you didn't stay apart, they forgot who you were. You got to stay involved in these people's lives. You got to give them the market snapshots. You got to reach out to them. You got to nurture them. So the CRM, the market snapshots help you do all those things. The other things that I loved about KB Core is they give you 3 different kind of apps that you can use. The first app is like your robot coach. So that tells you every day who to talk to and why. So it might tell me, hey, Ethan's clicked my market snapshot 10 times this week. Now, I'm not going to call Ethan. Hey, Ethan, I see that you've used my market snapshot. No. Okay, they're going to think you're creepy and you're stalking. You are, but you don't want to tell them that, right? But you reach out to Ethan and check in and say, hey, Ethan, what's going on? How's it going? How's everything going? You know, with life. And they're going to open up right away. But you know they're poking around for a reason, right? Or you might look in and be like, oh, Mark's been searching for homes in Gainesville all week. And it tells me that on the app. So I'm going to reach out to Mark. Hey, Mark, checking in. How's the wife? How the kids? Oh, Haley just went off to college, right? What are you guys going to do from that? You know, open up that conversation. All of a sudden, there's a reason that they're searching for homes. There's a reason that whatever's going on in your database, it brings it to the top to tell you who's the best, most efficient use of your time right now to reach out to and connect with. The second app is your open house app. So what this does is it lets you register everybody in your open houses on the app for immediate feedback and follow-up and to bring them into your web. We, as realtors, maybe you guys are better than me, but we typically are pretty good at the low-hanging fruit. So if there's 20 people that come into an open house, The one person that says, I want to go buy and sell, I want to go see homes today. Well, great, I'm good at that person, right? Or, I want to list my home in the next month. I'm interviewing agents. Great, I'll be there Tuesday. Let's interview. What about the person that's going to do something in 3 months, or 6 months, or 9 months? Or they aren't even telling you they're ready to do something yet. We don't do a great job with them because we only want to do the stuff that's right in front of us right now, right? Well, if we put everybody into an app, and they got a text, thanks for coming to my open house. And they get set up on a buyer seller search the next day where they're getting emails and they're getting snapshots and all that kind of stuff. And they're now in my nurturing web in KB Core. Then I've got a much better chance of being that realtor for them in 2 months or 4 months or 6 months or 8 months. Half the people that come into your open house are going to do something in the next year. They're out there looking for a reason. Somebody's looking to sell. Maybe the husband and maybe the wife. Maybe they haven't told each other yet they're looking to sell. Or they're looking to buy, or looking for whatever. They don't know yet, but those are the beginnings of that. Okay, some are ready to go this week, but a lot of them are ready to go in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. But you got to be there to connect and be the realtor for them when that happens. So the open house app helps that happen. The third app is for your buyers. So if Ethan's my buyer, I'm going to send him a link and he's going to search for homes in my app. Now, why do I want him to look in my app? Because if he doesn't look in my app, then where's he going to look? He's going to look in Zillow. What happens every time he looks in Zillow? We got 4 other realtors calling him, trying to say they're smarter, funnier, and prettier than me, and they should be the realtor to help Ethan find a home. Well, there's a lot of people in the world smarter, funnier, and prettier than me. I checked. Now, one of them might convince Ethan that they should go work with him instead of me. Ethan doesn't want to be bothered, and I don't want Ethan to be stolen away. If they're not in Zillow, then they might be in Redfin, right? Well, what's the downside about Redfin? Well, every house they click in Redfin, it tells them, set up a showing with the listing agent directly. Save thousands of dollars if you don't bring your own realtor. Well, I don't like that either. None of these situations are good for Donny, all right? If they look in my app, now Ethan can just see my homes, he can converse with me, he can see the whole web out there, but he doesn't have to worry about realtors contacting him. I don't have to worry about him being stolen. I don't have to worry about a listing agent that he's going to contact some listing agent and try to work out a deal without me knowing. He's only going to reach out to me if he likes homes that he sees in the app. So it's a win-win. A few companies give out KV Core. Most all of them charge an $80 and $90 a month tech fee when they do. Ours is absolutely free. The other thing we did, though, is I added 2 things onto it because I'm that guy that walks up to the buffet and I can't just start eating right away. I got to look at all the options. And I got said that then what I want. So when I got to KB Core, I looked at all the options, showed me all the stuff you got, and I said, look, I need these 2 thrown in here. My best chance to get them in was the beginning of the deal, right? I'm leveraging and negotiating. So these 2 things I got added in that most people don't have. KB Core Listing Machine. So Core Listing Machine, what it does is it gives you every single listing you put on the market. It gives you a single property website automatically launched for free for you. Single property website launched, and it's automatically advertised on all your social media feeds. Some of us, I'm just a side note here, but some of you realtors out there are trying to give away business. You'll be like, oh, look at my new listing, and you'll post it on Facebook or Instagram. And the link you give is the link to Zillow or Redfin on your listing. It's like you're trying to get people to go to other places and give away from you. Show that single property website. Now, this is not paid for. This is something I would do if I was the realtor. I'd go one extra step. Okay, I give you this free property website that looks great. It's all about the property. It's a standalone website. I'd go buy a name for it. Go to GoDaddy.com, pay $10, get your own URL, 123center.com. Now, when it's advertised on all the websites, it says 123center.com. That's pretty slick. Your seller loves that. The people out there love that. You look like a pro, and everybody's going to go to 123center.com. Then, I'd go and buy a $5 rider. I put on the sign out front that says 123center.com. Who's seeing it now? All the neighbors. Everybody in the circle, everybody in the neighborhood, everybody around. So you're like, oh, I got home tonight and I see a rider on a sign that says that. I'm pulling up 123center.com before I hit my own driveway because I want to see what's going on that website. It's pretty cool they got their own URL. You think everybody in the neighborhood's going to be impressed? They're going to reach out to you when it's time to sell. If they've got their own single property website, it's got their own URL. That's pretty cool. So Core Listing Machine helps you advertise that better. Now anybody that hits that website, what happens to them? Right back into your database. So you can see all the people hitting that website, and you can get new leads in that neighborhood or online, whoever's seeing that listing. So it's a win-win. The last app that we give is KV Core Social. So a lot of us want to be better at social media, but we don't know what to say. So you say, okay, I'm in Fairfax County, and I want to post about gardening and home improvement and finance and real estate. think I got 4 different topics. Sometimes I say mortgage and finance. I'm like, it's kind of the same thing, Donny. But I got 4 different topics. I want to post about Fairfax County. I want to post Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Great. Set it up once and forget it. Now it's going to create fresh, dynamic content. It's going to post it to all your feeds Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now, are you going to get 100 likes on every one? No. Most people aren't going to care about a ton of the articles you post, right? But they're going to continue to build in their brand. Donny's a smart guy. Here he's posting about finance. Here he's posting about real estate. Oh, that's a great home improvement tip. They're just continuing to see you as the professional in their mind that they should refer out or make sure that they call when it's time for them to buy or sell again. You're going to create all this reticular activation in their mind about Donny and reminds them that I'm the pro in real estate, that's their guy. So KV Core Social helps us do that. Now, the other thing I want to mention is we have a full-time trainer on staff, not just KV Core training, but a 40-hour-week trainer. Lori does a great job of teaching KV Core. She has KV Core classes every day, one-on-one sessions, Zoom sessions, in-person sessions to help you learn all this if you want to dive in and get better at it. The last thing that we offer at KV Core is kind of Facebook KV Core together. If all that was over your head and you're like, Donny's been talking for a while about tech, I don't care. Listen to this one. Every single time you put a listing on the market, we give you a free Facebook ad. Every time. Every time you put an open house in the MLS, another Facebook ad advertising the open house. You do an open house again next week, another Facebook ad. That Facebook ad, if anybody clicks it, what happens? Leads right back into your database. So at a minimum, you sign up for KV Core and just sit back and watch these free leads come in from the Facebook ads that we post for you. Those are free times at bat. Those are free people that you can reach out to. It also is pretty great because you can tell your seller, I'm running a Facebook ad every time I'm going to run a Facebook ad for your listing, and I'm going to run a Facebook ad every open house. Remember, I got the single property website over here for you too. These are great things. I think this way because I sat at hundreds and hundreds of listing tables, and you want tools in your tool belt to help you get that listing, more things that you're going to do to help market that listing that make you look like a pro. So Facebook ad every listing, Facebook ad every open house, leads all back to you. Next thing I'm going to hop into is our print center. So first of all, in Samson Property, Chantilly home base next to me, I can hear him cutting most of the time during my presentation, we have a full service print center in-house. Now, that's where we're going to develop all these things. In your local offices, you can print all color printing for free, within reason for real estate. That means regular standard brochures. You want to print out some listing presentations or some listings you're going to go show or something you're going to give to a client. All that's cool. I'm not nickel and diming you 10 cents here, 10 cents there. Now, is 1,000 flyers to your church picnic real estate related? Probably not so much, but as much color printing you need for real estate related activities. Now, what do we do in our in-house print center here in Chantilly? The first thing is postcards. So I'm holding them up. You're seeing different pictures of them on your screen there as well. We've got 2 levels of postcard. You can't touch them right now, so you can't really tell the difference as much. But we have standard postcards, which are regular cardstock weight, and they also don't bleed all the way to the edge. So if you see here, the color doesn't go all the way to the edge, it stops, which is normal. This is what I had for 13 years, and they work fine. But now we have these fancy machines. We can do better. This is called a premium postcard. So the premium postcards are much thicker cardstock, and they bleed all the way to the edge. As you can see here, the color goes all the way to the edge, and you can see that it comes out looking really good. And you can also see some of the pictures on your screen there. Now, what do we give you for free from our print center? First of all, when you join, 300 postcards for free to your sphere of influence. Now, you can customize this however you want and tell people, hey, I've joined Samson Properties. I have more tools to be a better realtor for you in the future. Now, what's the reality is? I'm going to say something sobering that I think most of you would agree with, but this is the case. All the people that have worked with you in the past and in the future, your referrals and your repeat customers, most of them don't know who you work for, and none of them care who you work for. They use you and refer you and like you because of the relationship with you. You've impressed them, or you have the connection with them. It's about the name on the front of the card, not the big company name that's on the sign. They like you. Now, why do I then send this out saying that I've gone to Samson? Because you can show them what you're going to be an even better realtor with the new tools, but also it's a touch point to those 300 people. Gives you a reason to reach out to them and connect with them. A lot of people get new calls just for new business just off this because it's the first time they've reconnected with their database in a while. So those are for free. Now, on an ongoing basis, while you're with Samson. Every listing, 100 free just listed postcards. 100 free just listed postcards. You send in the postcard and the addresses, we print it, we label it, we take it to the post office, all that for free. And for every open house, we give you 300 free postcards for every open house to renters. Why renters? Because renters are your next buyers for that house, or you get in your car and go buy another house for them. We're trying to create more buyer clients for you and more buzz for that open house. So 100 just listed, 300 for every open house to renters. Now you say, Donny, it's great. I want to do more. Fantastic. I would love for you to do more than that 100, 300. Standard, 45 cents each for each one you want to buy on top of that. That is the postcard, the labor, the postage, the delivery, all that stuff included in there. Premium, just 5 cents more, 50 cents each. I do the premium. To me, that's worth the extra 5 cents because the quality is so much better. But 45 cents, 50 cents each. You email in the postcard and the 300 addresses you want them to go to. Great. We'll print them, we'll label them, we'll charge your credit card, and have a nice day. All that can happen in 5 minutes. Now, that might not mean a lot to you, but somebody that grew up as a realtor's kid sticking labels on postcards and mailers all day for $2 an hour from my dad, that means a lot that you can do all this stuff with computers and somebody else will do all this stuff for me. And I'd be like, Dad, I don't want to do labels anymore. I'd be like, Donny, you want to eat? Put some labels on. I'd be like, all right, I'll put labels on. I want to eat. I like eating. So we do all that in-house here for you, 45 cents, 50 cents each, however more you want. Now, some people say, those are great, Donny, but I want to say more. Well, we have 4-page premium newsletters that are coming up. Some of them are coming up across your screen, and I'm holding one as well. This is great, thick quality paper, bleeds to the edge of the paper. Really, really nice. This 4-page newsletter, we give every month to you a template. Don't use my template. Okay? Use my template to then design a better course for you. Spend a little time modifying it. Now, in my opinion, you should have 2 courses of action. Either your sphere of influence, past clients, people that know you on a personal and professional level, or I'm farming a neighborhood with this newsletter. I want to go after the 500 homes or 1,000 homes in this newsletter, or this area, this neighborhood, whatever. Those are 2 different newsletters to me. The newsletter to my past clients' sphere of influence is, hey, this is what I'm thinking about the real estate market. These are recent homes that I've sold. What's going on for me? On the back, it might even be something personal. Hey, my daughter just made the varsity basketball team and she's fired up. It's going to be a great season out of Lake Ridge High School. Whatever the case may be. Now you're connecting with those past clients. They want to know what's going on with you. Personally, professionally, you're much more likely to get their sale again in 6 years if they remember who you are and they've identified with you and they've connected with you, right? Now over here, if you're in a neighborhood, make the newsletter about the neighborhood. People send out a generic newsletter. I don't know why nobody's calling. Because they didn't care to read it. But if they open it up and it's about South Riding, it's got all the events coming up in the neighborhood next month. Here's all the November South Riding events. Now they're like, oh, good, I didn't know about. Now they have a reason to start reading it. They open it up and they see all the active listings, the under contract listings, the contracts, things that just sold. Well, now they can chart the market every month. What's going on? Oh, that one was under contract. I'm going to open next month to find out what it sold for. They can find this information out in one source. Now they have a reason to pick up your newsletter every month because it's interesting to them. Okay? It might be some more articles about the area or things to do or whatever the case may be. Make it about the neighborhood, about the area. You can't position yourself as a neighborhood expert. Send out a newsletter. It's not about the neighborhood. Make it worthwhile. Now you can email this for free once you've designed it and modified it up. Because email's free. Or you can print it in beautiful, thick, premium paper, mailing, postage, delivery, everything included for just $1 each. $1! It's insane. It costs $3, $4 easy for me to do this. But why do I do them so cheap? Because it's not about making it a profit center. It's about playing the long game. I want you to use this because it's going to create more business for you, which makes you more successful. Hopefully, in the long run, it'll create more business for both of us. Hopefully, you'll be thankful. You'll close the card. You'll tell other people how much you love us and all that kind of stuff. But I'm playing the long game. I'm betting on all of our success long term by me cutting it down to a price that makes it much more affordable for you to do. I'm going to use my Uncle Casey. He sends about 8,000 of these out a month to Vienna. $8,000 a month he's spending on this. Is it because he likes spending $8,000 a month? No. It's because every time he sends 8,000 out, he gets 3 calls for $1 million listings. Now, if you told me I was going to have a chance to make 50 or 60 grand in commissions for every $8,000 newsletter, I would do it every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Sign me up for all of that. And that's why Casey's teams blew by $100 million in sales this year, and he's going to end up $110, $120 million in sales. It's because he loves using the newsletter, and he's using that money to leverage out. Before I talk about John and his team, what if he put out 4,000 newsletters a month instead of giving it to his brokerage? You think that 4,000 newsletters is going to create 1 or 2 more transactions a month? I do. So, newsletters you can leverage and make much more money on. The same thing, I give you Casey's example. I mean, you could do that to your sphere of influence. 300 people. Send it to them 12 times a year, once a month. That's $3,600. You need to get half of one more referral from those people to make up for it. I promise you will. I promise. There's no chance that you're not going to connect better with those 300 people and you're going to get more business from them in the future. So not required, but because it's only $1, it makes it very feasible for you to do these newsletters. The next necessary evil when it comes to real estate marketing and print marketing is brochures. So we give you 4-page standard brochures for free, regular paper, regular print. You can print these at all the local offices, as many as you want. Now I say do 30 at a time. Don't print out 100, kill all the trees and take all my paper and then it sells in 5 seconds. But as many as you need to get the house sold. Now, we have these fancy machines. We can do better. We've got a 4-page premium brochure, much thicker paper, just like those newsletters I just showed you. We first launched this, our realtor said that costs about $1.50 or $2 at a local print store. We charge just 50 cents each. You want 50 of these? Send it in. We'll take out 50 to your local office with our runners. $25. That's a drop in the bucket. That's fine. This is what I would do though. We had 8 pages, an 8-page premium brochure. This is 8 pages of premium goodness. This is super impressive, thick paper, bleeds all the way to the edge. This looks sharp. We obviously have them in horizontal and lateral, and you can flip them however you want. But 8 pages of premium goodness. Now, Donnie, that's got to cost $2-3, right? 75 cents each. 75 cents. You get 50 of these, that's $37. That's a rounding error in all the business of what we make when we sell a listing. Now, I'm not naive, okay? Between you and I and Fence Post. Brochure ever sell a house? No. But who loves them some brochures? The sellers. The sellers love brochures. So you're sitting down with the seller, okay? Trying to win a listing presentation. You're showing them that you can give this 8-page beautiful brochure to them. That's fantastic. Super cheap. Remember, you're also going to tell them, oh, I'm going to send postcards out, just listed postcards. I'm going to send postcards for every open house. Donnie's taking care of all this for free for you. Don't tell the seller that, but I'm telling you. And you can have a Facebook ad for your listing, Facebook ad for the open house, and a single property website, all designed for free, all given out to you. Now, you got some ammo to win that listing presentation. You haven't even spent any money yet, except a couple dollars on some beautiful 8-page brochures. The sellers are going to love all that stuff. Now, they're all in for all your marketing and more that you can do on top of that. So 8-page brochures, a great tip to help you love sellers. Or the sellers love you. The one thing I was going to say, who else sees the brochures? Not just sellers, but your neighbors, right? People are like, oh, nosy neighbors. I love nosy neighbors. They're going to come into your open house. They're going to see the beautiful brochure. Maybe they're not ready to sell it now. They're going to look at their husband or spouse or wife and say, honey, I don't know when we're selling, but when we do, we got to interview Donnie because they've seen the beautiful signs out front, the beautiful pictures. They've seen the open houses. They've seen the rider that says the single property website. They've seen the postcards. They've seen the Facebook ads. Now they've seen the beautiful brochures. They're like, Donnie's a pro. I don't know when we're going to sell, but when we do, we have to at least interview Donnie because he looks like he's got all his ducks in a row. It's not just what you do selling the one listing. It's that you turn one listing into 2 in the neighborhood, into 3 in the neighborhood, into 4 in the neighborhood, into 7, and then all those 6 or 7 people love you and they're referring you out. That's how you build a business, by doing things consistently great all the time. So, last thing we do with our print center. These are called booklets. We have a buyer guide and a seller guide. Let's go find a house. Congratulations, you got a contract, now what? These are all written by me, but they're fully customizable on our website. So you can come in, download them to your own machine, change my words, change the pictures if you want, or just change the front, put in your own picture, put in your own name, and now you got the Shane Smith buyer guide, okay, right here. Now you give this out. Why would I want to have my own buyer guide if I'm you? 2 reasons. 1, managing expectations. People go through this transaction, and buyers and sellers, they can be prepared for the things that are coming at them if they're aware of what's going to go on before it happens. Home inspections, the biggest reason for fret in our industry, right? Well, if you've prepared them ahead of time, because it's in this book, and you've told them, look, home inspection is going to take 3 hours. Be out of the house. They're going to find 40 things wrong. Be prepared for that. This is how we're going to negotiate. You can now manage their expectations because they're prepared with what's going to come on next and what to be prepared for. The second thing is to make an amazing first impression. What if you're at your kid's game tonight and you say, hey, Donny, I'm thinking about buying. Great, here's my card. I'll call you tomorrow. Or you drop one of these. Oh, here's my buyer guide. I'll call you tomorrow. They open this and they're like, dang, Donny's giving me the whole playbook and the game hadn't even started yet. It's so powerful. You've made an amazing impression. Now they know you know everything's going to happen. They know you're a pro because you just put it on writing and told them everything that was going to happen and how the transaction works from beginning to end. Super powerful stuff. You can modify these and use these as your own off our Cardinal Nest website. So Print Center. Lots of different options there for the Print Center. The next thing I want to talk to you about is, I believe it's lead generation. No. Customer service reps. Agent service specialists. So, a lot of you are going to get done with this video, hopefully, and you're going to say, I love a lot of what Donny had to talk about. And you get all the way there, you're like, I'm going to join, this sounds great. And you get 99% of the way there, and you get to the 1 yard line. And then you stop because you say, change is hard. It just seems like a lot of stuff. I don't really want to reboot. I'll just stick where I'm at, even though it sounds great. I understand that. It's a hard decision, but you're also worried about the mechanics of it. So 1.5 years ago, we started a team, the Agent Services team. And they have two main functions. Their first job is to onboard new agents and make sure they feel comfortable and loved in our company. The second, so what they do is, you sign up today, there's 8 of these people that are on our team. They each have 2 or 3 offices each. You join the Vienna office, and the Vienna Agent Service Specialist grabs you. You have a meeting with them. You sit down. You go over everything, Samson, make sure you're all plugged in. And then you say, okay, Bethany, you're my person. Great. A week from now, I'm going to forget half of what Bethany said. Then who do I call now? Bethany. Now your first job is to onboard. Your second job is to love on everybody there and take care of them forever. They're your person. They're your lifeline. You know, the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the show, you always had that phone a friend. They're your phone a friend. Hey, Bethany, I know you told me this, but where do I go for this? Or how do I do this? Great. They're either going to answer it, help you, or they're going to help match you up to the best staff member to get that one-on-one training you need to get to that next level. So when we interviewed for this position last year, we interviewed for one trait. One trait. Personality. Look, we can teach people everything about Samson and how to integrate them and how to do that kind of stuff. But you can't teach people to be nicer or to be light in the room. Whenever people are either walk into the room and they're light when they walk in the room and they're like, oh, that person's here. Great. Melissa's here. The mood just got better. She's nice. She's great. I'm gonna approach her. She's great. Or there's the alternative, right? They can be the smartest person in the world, but they walk in, they're kind of a drag. You don't really want to talk to them. You don't want to call them. They're gonna make you seem smaller. It's not gonna be a good fit. Those people have no business doing these positions. So we want to have these people that lift us up, bring all the culture to all of our offices, and make our agents feel loved. They're our agent customer service support team. So once they've onboarded you and got you going, they pass you off to our team of trainers. We have a full team staff here that does a fantastic job teaching our agents and marketing for it and helping them market all these different things. All of them sit in our Chantilly location, but then they travel around to the different offices and they have tech days at the different offices a couple times a month. We have a full-time social media trainer. We'll teach you one-on-one Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever it is that you want to help you grow your business. She also teaches small classes for people, but then does one-on-one training. We teach you SkySlope and Bright MLS. I'll talk more about SkySlope in a minute. Marketing coordinators that teach all your print marketing. So how do you do the brochures and the postcards and all the different things. We have somebody that will teach you how to do all those things. We have a great staff of 3 media gurus and creative people that do all your personal headshots for free and personal branding videos for free. That's right, for free. I was spending $500-600 to do a personal branding video when I was in the business. Look, some people are afraid of video. You look how you look, you sound how you sound. But if you get a great minute video on your website or on your social media feeds where all of a sudden you're introducing people to your website or talking about your services or talking about that local area around them and how you're an expert, you're connecting with people. You're making yourself look tech savvy, you're making yourself more relatable, more educated, And now there's a real life person that they want to meet and they want to contact to be their next realtor, as opposed to not having a web presence and not having a video presence. So I would highly encourage you to do that. And we pay for great people to do those for you and make you look good on those things. We also have the free full-time KV core teacher to teach you all the KV core stuff like I talked about before. So a full team of trainers that will teach you. The next thing I want to talk more about is our education in general. So I start with a story about my friend Sarah Mormon. So Sarah is our COO here at Samson Properties and helps me run everything in the company now. Well, Sarah was a Long & Foster broker manager for 10 years. And then for 6 years, she was the COO and general manager of 6 RE/MAX gateways and helped run those in Northern Virginia. During that time period, she also had the distinct honor of being my oldest daughter's lacrosse coach. So we kind of knew each other on a friendly basis there through lacrosse. But then we also competed against each other in sales back then. So I called us frenemies at the time, right? Well, I had heard great things about Sarah's education and her management and her ability to lead. And I said, Sarah, come have lunch with Danny and I, almost 4 years ago to the day. She said, no, I'm good. I said, come on. She said, come have lunch with Danny and I. Well, it turns out she already knew me. I was the crazy dad that's in the front row yelling and cheering for Ava. She really just wanted to meet my dad because he was this big white wolf and not many people knew what Danny was all about. So she was curious. So she went to lunch with Danny and I with very low expectations. She came out of that lunch of famous days 3.5 hours later, and if you had asked her, she said, where's the brick wall? I'm ready to run through it. Because she was all in with Samson at that point. What was she all in on? She was all in on the concept that we wanted to be the best education brokerage in all of the DMV. Now, bless my dad's heart, he said, we're already there. We got some ways to go. We're getting good at teaching, but we can be even better, right? I knew if Sarah was on our team, we would take our education to the next level. So Sarah helps lead all of our education. The first thing she does is, and you can put Samson University back up there, Ethan, is she teaches Ninja. She's in the middle of a series now. She's already done 2 weeks, but Ninja is a free course. If you're with Keller Williams, it's bold. It's very similar. It's all about mindset of selling. How do I attract more people? How do I prospect? How do I recruit? How do I do all these things better? And what parts of my brain do I have to activate and give you action plans? Well, most people charge $600, $700, $800 for Ninja or Keller Williams Bold. We teach it for free here. As you can see going across the right there, we teach classes about business building, about prospecting, about working with buyers more, how to work with sellers more, masterminds. We have 3 or 4 classes every single day in our company that you can jump into for free, either in person or on Zoom or watch virtually from your house that's being broadcast in our studio here. Look, there's a place for meets and bounds and CE stuff, but we want to teach us ways that can help you build your own business, make more money, prospect better. There's Ethan on the screen there. You can tell he's the creative director, right? He just screams creative director. But he does all the photos and the videos and all that kind of stuff for it. We want to teach all this stuff. Now, what you're also seeing behind you is Samson University. We live in a Netflix world, so all these classes, if you miss them, you can't make them, great. We package them up. We put them on Samson University. You can come in here and you can watch all those videos later from the convenience and the comfort of your own home or whenever you have the time to. So we want to make sure that we're not only doing a great job with education, but then putting it all on Samson University for a great place for you to watch. The next slide there, I believe, talks about all that education again, Ethan, that I just went through. But we're focused on buyers classes, seller classes, how to help prospects you make more business yourself, not just how to check off your CE or whatever. So that's really what we focus on, a lot of those things in our training right there. The next thing I'm going to talk about is lead generation, right, Ethan? So lead generation. Oh, no, missed. Gosh, I need to buck up. It's not like I do this all the time. Free coaching program. So with our education, we have 2 other things that we focus on that are really important. I believe coaching is important. I used to coach high school sports. I coach my daughters now. Coaching is important in all aspects of life. Now, when it comes to real estate, I think there's 2 really main reasons that I think coaching is important. For setting up a game plan on how you want to do your business or run your business, and for accountability within your business, right? The best part about real estate is we have no boss, right? We can do whatever we want, whenever we want. We got no time schedule. The worst part about real estate is you don't have a boss. Nobody to hold you accountable. It's very easy to, I sold 2 houses this month. I'm going to take some extra days off. So what our free coaching program is I'm investing in your future. I'll pay the coaches. Because not everybody can afford to go out and spend $1,000 a month on their coach. I'm going to pay the coaches. coaches are our great experienced realtors that want to give back to people around in our company. So I pay the coaches. You meet with those coaches every week, every other week, because I think if I meet with Deb, and Deb's my coach, and we set a game plan on Monday, and these are the 4 things I'm going to work on. Well, next Monday when I get here, not only have I a clear game plan on things I want to accomplish, but if I left on my own devices, I might only get 2 or 2.5 of those things done, right? But if I know I'm meeting Deb next Monday at noon, I'm not going to come to class without my homework done because I don't want the teacher to get mad at me. So all of a sudden, I'm going to make sure I get those things done so that I'm more successful and Deb's happy. So it's the accountability and the game plan aspect. If I accomplish my goals every week, week after week after week after week, you're not going to recognize the realtor that you are 6 weeks from now, 10 weeks from now, 20 weeks from now. So I don't care if I spend thousands a month on coaching. I'm investing in the long-term success of all those realtors that are being coached right there. That they're going to take their business to the next level, and they're going to succeed, and they're going to prosper at Samson Properties. So that's why I invest in a coaching program. The next thing is mentor program. We require mentors for all brand new realtors to the industry. Not to Samson, if you're new to the industry. If you have not completed in the last 3 years 2 buys and 1 listing, then you have to go into our mentor program to get help on those things. Now, as you can see, the mentor gets a significant split from those deals, 60-40, 60-40, 70-30. I don't get anything off of it, but we want that mentor to be financially incentivized, so they do a great job holding your hand and helping you through the transaction and getting you the great training you need to launch your career off to a good start. I love that we have a mentor program. There's 3 reasons that I'm obsessed with it, and if you're watching right now, you're like, oh, I'm going to tell them I don't need a mentor. Go find somewhere else, because I am super focused on it for these reasons. 1, I want to protect you from yourself. I don't care if you're a doctor, a lawyer, or the smartest person in the room. You haven't done a real estate transaction before. You haven't been the single person in charge of a $500,000 transaction. It's the most important thing going on in these people's lives. Make sure that you got somebody else holding your hand so you don't mess it up for yourself and mess it up for them. The second thing is I'm protecting the clients, right? They signed a deal with Samson Properties. It's not very responsible of me to have 1,000 realtors running around that aren't qualified to help these people unless they've got a good mentor holding their hands in the first 3 transactions. The third reason that I'm really focused on the mentor program is our reputation. Donny Samson, my responsibility as CEO, is to the 4,800 people walking around Samson Properties on their business card. It's not to that brand new person that thinks they're smart enough to do it without a mentor. I want to make sure that every single transaction is done by an experienced realtor or a new person being in their hands being held by an experienced realtor, so we continue to lift up our reputation. We don't tear it down with people trying to do things on their own without a mentor. So I'm excited about our mentor program. You get to pick your own mentor. We have 100 different mentors you can choose from, but you do have to have a mentor for your first 3 transactions. Next slide, my friend. Now we finally get to lead generation. I've started like 3 times, right? So some of you work for companies right now that what they do, in my opinion, is almost criminal. I know that sounds aggressive, but it is. So we've got, I'm stepping off screen and back onto it here. There you go. Let me focus myself again. Sorry about that. We've got 15 different templates of signs that you would say right now when you pulled up your sign, you've got the company phone number across the middle. And you'd be like, Donny, it's cool. I got a rider at the bottom. How many times do they call the big number in the middle in the sign? And you're like, no. They call. My front desk always gives me my calls when they go to the front desk. Come on now. How do you know? They're not calling you and being like, hey, guess what, Donny? We gave away 3 of your seller leads to somebody else today. They're not doing that, right? They're giving it to somebody else at a 50-50 split so they can make money off it. How many times you had a listing, and then you saw somebody else you saw another guy from your company or a lady from your company pop up a sign 2 streets down in your neighborhood. Now, it's possible they knew that person before, but it's also very possible that they got that call from the front desk off their sign, they called in the office, then they got assigned to that person, and they ended up listing their home. Stop giving away your leads. They're your listings, they're your leads. It's not acceptable to work for a broker that is trying to take your leads and get them out to other people. So, you can use Samson signs. This is all about Sarah, right? Sarah's name, Sarah's cell phone, Sarah's website. They're not calling Samson. In Virginia, you have to have the office phone number on there, but we can make it super small. In Maryland and D.C., we do have to have that office phone number bigger, but I still want the sign to be all about you and your information, not about ours. Now, we also allow you to keep your own brand. I'm coming back on screen, I promise. So, what does that mean? This is Chesterfield Homes. Okay, I'm going to keep it down here. Now you don't even know, right? This is all about Chesterfield Homes. It's got their phone number. It should have their website and their email and their information on there too, if I've seen it right. At the bottom, you can see they're also Samson Properties, and there's the office phone number. Which number are they calling here? Samson or Chesterfield? They're calling Chesterfield Homes. Okay? You can keep your own brand. You can create a brand. It's about you. It's not about us. Okay? Now, we've got a lot of sales. We're at 9 billion, 19,000 sales. Keep our logos on there, but make your phone number and your website more prominent, not ours. Okay? Create your own business. Stop losing it to the front desk wherever you're at. So the next thing we talk about lead generation is, Ethan's going to pop up a slide here. Now, a lot of this stuff's reviews, so I'm going to go through it quicker, but free coaching and training, free one-on-one social media and technology training, free headshots, free personal branding videos, 300 postcards when you join for your sphere of influence, 100 postcards for every just listed, 300 postcards for every open house, free E&O insurance, free E&O insurance, free E&O insurance. Stop paying for free. Stop paying for free. Some of you are paying $600, $700 a year for E&O insurance. Stop it. Just stop. Okay, it doesn't cost that much money, and you're just making your company's pockets thicker. All right. Now, a couple of these below are new. These last couple ones are new. Free SkySlope. We use SkySlope to turn in all of our transactions. You can use Remind Docs Plus. You can use Dotloop. You can do zip forms. You can use pen and paper for all I care. You just have to upload and turn in your documents through SkySlope to us for a review, and so we can pay you super quick. SkySlope is the best review software out there. We also have all the forms in there, Andy's signature in there, all for free that we pay for. So you have free SkySlope to do it all, but if you like what you like, keep doing that. You should turn it through SkySlope. We also have a full-time trainer to help teach you how to do that if you're unsure of that. So the next thing is 7 Samson points. We also give you free money. A point is $1. So for every 100,000 in volume, we give you $7, 7 free dollars. So a million in sales is 70 points, 7 times 10. Now, you can get polos and hoodies and t-shirts and whatever you want for those, right? Great, Donny, I got $100 in gear, Samson gear. I'm good. What do I do now? You can use that money and reinvest it into the print center. So if you sold $5 million in homes, it's $353. I'm giving you now free money to put back into the print center to help you. Every $1 million you sell, $70 more in free printing on top of all the other stuff. Send out 140 more postcards on me. 70 more full-page brochures. Whatever it is that you want to do, I'm giving you more money. People that sold $10 million in real estate, that's $700 free dollars I'm giving you to help market yourself on top of everything else that we give you. The last link down there says testimonial tree. So we started doing testimonial tree a couple months ago. When you sell a home, we send a survey to your clients. They fill out the survey good, like I'm sure they will. Then it automatically can populate to the website or Facebook pages or wherever you want it to go to. Why do I do this? Because we can sell 2,000 homes in a month. And what happens to one guy that wasn't happy? Right? He didn't get the rental he wanted. The sale didn't go the right way. He's going to tell everybody and his mother, right? He ends up on Yelp and Facebook and this thing. He's going to tell everybody what a bad Samson property stinks because this guy didn't get it. The guy that's upset barks the loudest. But what about the 1,999 people that had a great experience? I want to hear from them. I want to flood the internet with the good news. All the great things we're doing. You know, so many of us, if you're like me, you never ask for reviews in your business because you just didn't want to ask. So I'll ask for you. Since we launched this 2 months ago, we've had over 2,500 positive reviews come in that are filling up the internet with all this positive stuff. That's the good news. I want to put all the good news out there, and I'm going to pay for it for you so it makes you look good, our individual offices look good, and our whole company look good. The more great reviews that we're putting out there about how great Samson Properties Realtors are doing out there. So on the right side of that lead generation page, the last slide there, it has all the KV core stuff that I want to remind you about. So free Facebook ads, the websites, the CRMs, the snapshots, the different apps that help you, core listing machine, core social, all those things for free that we're giving you all through KV Core. Just to remind you, all that free stuff in one spot. The next slide there, pushing ahead there, is I believe we've got, Samson Instant Offers. So this is our own iBuyer platform. iBuyer's in the news right now with all the Zillow stuff, right? Well, what this does is, this lets you, in 30 seconds, and we can talk more details, but it lets you have your own iBuyer platform where you put in your seller, You can get an all-cash offer. You can also get a bridge offer solution. If you want somebody to buy the house from your seller, freeze their money up to go buy something else, then they can come back, rent back their current house until they're ready, sell that house later. We don't fund it, so we're not in any kind of trouble. We've got people in the back that are funding that when they get the deals go in. So we use a great program, Samson Instant Offers, it's labeled. You can come in and you can have the power now. Now, why do you care? Only 1% of people it's going to fit for, right? But now you can market. You have a guaranteed buy program, a guaranteed sell program, buy before you sell. Those are things that are going to make your phone ring. The reality is, I just want to get to the kitchen table to talk to them. When we sit down at the kitchen table, they're probably not going to pick an iBuyer solution. Probably, right? They're probably going to sell their house normal and go buy a house, and you're going to work it like a regular transaction. But now you have options. You can lay out the options for them. You can market to get more business, make your phone ring. So all that's available to you through Samson Instant Offers. Next thing is our concierge service. So this is Cardinal Concierge Service. So what we do is this. When I was selling, I had a full-time assistant. Yes, I'm bragging again. No, I'm just kidding. Not everybody can afford a $50,000 assistant, right? But why did I do it? Because it was the best use of my time. Best use of my time was out there making it rain, right? Talking, being there for my buyers and sellers. Thinking of the next idea to market and create more listings. Being out there at the open houses or the showings or whatever it is, or refueling my tank so that I had energy for that 6 o'clock listing appointment tonight, 7 o'clock listing appointment tonight. And I didn't spend all day in the grind putting together 16 brochures that day. Now, if you can't pay for your own assistant, what if I told you I had this service set up so you could get pieces of a deal done for you, whatever you choose to get done, paid for, or you can pay for it at half the cost, and you can pay for it at closing. Well, now I've taken out the risk. You don't have to have somebody on all the time. You can do it on a transaction by transaction basis and at a reduced cost. Now you're interested. So I've got 2 main lanes that I do for concierge service and then some add-ons. The first main lane you see on the side there is marketing packages. So these are the people that launch your listing. They'll do your bright listing and your brochure, your paper brochure, your Facebook ads, and make sure that everything's the signs, lockbox, all that kind of stuff's organized and ready to rock and roll. $150 or $250, and you can pay for it at closing. Pretty great, right? The second one is transaction coordination. So this is your assistant from contract to closing, whether it's on a buy side or a listing side. Now, most of the time right now, you get a TC, it costs you $350 or $400. Ours costs just $150. Why? Because I'm going to lose thousands a month on concierge. I'm okay with that. I'm playing the long game. I'm not trying to nickel and dime you and profit center everything we've got. I'm trying to help you sell more homes and build your business. I can make it $400, but now it's not as cool. You're not going to be in, right? Nobody's going to use the service. Nobody's getting the TCs. You can do 99 things right in the transaction, but what does the client remember most of the time? That one thing you messed up. Well, nobody's going to be perfect and guarantee that that one thing never happens. But if you have a TC working alongside of you in the transaction, you're much more likely to kill it during that transaction, get more referrals, and have a lot more free time to go get that next deal and service that next deal, or go to your kid's game. You know, I hear all these stories all the time. People, they sell during the day, and then they go to their kids' sports or spend dinner or whatever, and then all of a sudden they do all their ministerial stuff at night from 9 to midnight once they put the kids down. That's no life to lead. Stop doing that. Pay our people. So $150 a transaction for TC, and you can pay for it at closing. So it's a win-win. $400 down the right gets you everything in both packages, and you can pay for it at closing. The next page talks about, so we created this earlier this year for the a la carte stuff. So maybe you don't want a full package. You just want one postcard done. Well, they'll create the postcard, they'll pull down the addresses for you, get everything approved, and you just say, yep, looks good. And they'll do all that, $50. So they'll do sky slope, they'll do transaction stuff, they'll do KV core stuff, they'll do print and online marketing stuff. Everything ranges from $25 to $100. So it's easy for you to get that stuff done. I affectionately call this the Donny Samson plan. My dad thought all the ideas were great. He wanted all these things done. He didn't really do any. I don't want to do a postcard. I don't want to do this. He can attach files to emails though. Now we got Donny. We got him all hooked up. He's ready to go. But the idea is that your time is best used other places. Pay somebody else $50 to spend 2 hours, 3 hours doing the postcards and the brochures. You don't have to do it. That's not a skill set that you want to do. All right? That's for this. The other one is realtor services. So people love this. I sat with a client the other day, or a guy the other day, joined our company, very successful realtor. But he said, Donny, I went to Hawaii earlier this year for 2 weeks. It was awesome. But I lost 4 buyers while I was gone. 4 buyers. It's hard to even enjoy your trip when you're losing 10 grand every other day when you lose a buyer contact because they want to see houses and you couldn't help them, right? So, through our online message board system, hopefully you find a friend or you have a friend in the office. But if you don't, you email a concierge and you say, hey, I need a buyer's agent. I'm going to be gone for a couple days. It's this area. We have 400 people set up on the fulfillment side that are ready to help other realtors out for set costs, $25, $50, $100. And you can come in if you want the help and say, all right, I need a buyer's agent in Montgomery County. Great. I got 2 people ready. You guys are ready to be married. If you need help, somebody's here for you. So we help play that matchmaker for the realtor services. I don't take any money. Whatever they get charged goes right to the other realtor. So the 400 people have a way to pick up some extra money and get some experience. And you have the ability to go to your kid's game or to go on vacation or to try to have a life without worrying about the fact that you're going to lose a client every single time you go do something that is with your family or you want to enjoy yourself a little bit. So it's a win-win. So we have realtor services set up to help you guys with those connections as well. The next slide, sir, I believe is, so we also have a full-time graphic designer on staff. You know, to get any kind of graphic design stuff done, it's going to start $100, $200 just to start. We just $30 an hour. You can get anything custom designed for you want. If you want your own logo, your own brand, I showed you Chesterfield Homes before, whoever it is, you can get your own stuff designed by our great graphic designer there for $30 an hour. The next thing there, I believe, is Zocam. Am I right, Ethan? So Zocam, some people say Zocam. So this is mobile earnest money deposits. So you can, you or your client can take a picture of the front, take a picture of the back, click the Samson logo, EMD automatically in. No more driving it to an office to have to turn it in. No more putting it in the mail and hoping it gets there and calling 4 days in a row to see if the deposit check gets there. You got this $10,000 hot potato and you got to get it into escrow because you're worried about it until you're sure it's in escrow. So it's great. It puts that deposit ability right at your fingertips, which is fantastic. Next thing I want to talk about here is Team Hub, and then I'm going to hop into the Cardinal Nest. So we have a system called Team Hub at Samson Properties, and what that does is I'm basically playing matchmaker again with teams. I have all these people. We already told you financially we're the best place for teams out there, right? Well, we also want to be the best place to grow your teams out there. So Team Hub lets you, if you want to grow your team, it's a full-time advertisement for your team. You can have a picture, a video, and a profile on your team on Team Hub. Whereas say you're a newer realtor in the first couple of years or you want to find a team to work with, you can come into Team Hub, look at all the teams on there, and basically you're virtually interviewing and seeing who you like. Now you reach out to the 2 teams, you're like, I really like these people. They work in my area, seem like I'd work well with them. Now I can set up a real interview. People come to me and they go, Donny, which team should I work for? I don't know. We got 50 teams. They're all over the place. I don't know who's the best fit for you. But if I have them all advertised over here, and you all can come and look at those advertisements, now you can help to find each other a lot easier through Team Hub. So, Ethan, if you could fire up the Cardinal Nest video for me. So Cardinal Nest is the hub of everything we do at Samson Properties. Once you join us, you're going to see this website, Cardinal Nest, and has every single thing in it that we do all in one place. I'm going to go through like a 2-minute video of just all the different high points on it, but I literally could spend an hour showing you all the power of the Cardinal Nest, where you can find everything and anything that you want. You've got your dashboard there. We're advertising different events. You see all those names in the middle. Those are everybody that used Cardinal Title Group yesterday. I can't pay you. I can't incentivize you, but I sure can thank you. So I thank you on our main page every day. We also thank you in our sales meetings, every single person that used Cardinal. You see pages to Samson University, to Skyslope. You got most recent sales meeting videos up there. You see we have a calendar. You can hover over any day and see 3, 4, 5 classes or opportunities to get into sessions every day. This next page is our resource sections. This is like the library. This has every single form, document, graphic in our at Samson. You can search by keyword in the top right. You can also search by context on the side there. You can click postcard and you've got 49 different postcard templates. You can click brochure and you've got 25 brochure templates. You can search by whatever you want. You can see it goes in a newsletter there. You can pull up the newsletter, download it to your machine, modify it, and resave that newsletter so that you've got your own newsletter now to send out and advertise like I talked about earlier. The next link is top resources. So this allows you to kind of have Donny's top 20. You've got market reports, you've got listing presentations, buyer presentations, those buyer and seller guides, all the different things that I want you to be easily be able to find without having to go through the whole resource section to find it. Now you see Team Hub. This is that picture, video, profile on all the different teams that helps you to learn about the different teams that are at Samson. You can interview them virtually. Now you have our directory. So this is every agent, every Samson staff member, First Heritage staff member, Cardinal Title staff member. You can find anybody and everybody in here. So what are some real practical uses for it? Well, if you're in Chantilly and you got somebody selling here and moving to Richmond, well, I don't want to go down to Richmond, but I could pull up Richmond. They have to speak Spanish. They have to be a broker. You can search by whatever parameters you want and find the best realtors to match up and give those referrals over to. You also can find all the different brokers. This is our locations page. It's got a map of all of our locations. It has all the overview of all locations, and you can click on and find more information about any of them. So let's say you're driving around, you're normally in the Vienna office, but you want to use the Alexandria office. You click on the button, gives you all the information you need, the manager, the admin, the address, most importantly, the access information. Every office has a lockbox or a combo on it, so you can access that office whenever you need to, off hours, get into it, use the Wi-Fi passwords on here, the printer passwords, whatever it is you need, use the office as your own. Hopefully when you're done, close it up, lock it, put the key back in for the next guy or girl that wants to use the office, and be on your way. So you can see that the office locations page is super helpful. This last thing I'm going to show you is our message boards. So we used to have a Facebook group, which was great, except it's not very organized, and not everybody's on Facebook. Everybody in our company is on the Cardinal Nest, so they all have a message board system, and these messages boards are much more organized. You got a board about open houses, and contract questions, and this and that, and contractors. So if you want to interact with all 4,800 of each other, you can come into the message board and interact with each other. You can also subscribe to all the different message boards that are really interesting to you, so that if anybody makes a suggestion or puts a comment in there, that email comes right into your inbox and you can interact with the post right then. As you can see in just a couple minutes, there's a million different things on the Nest. This is the go-to place for everything Samson. This is also where you would watch live stream sales meeting videos and anything else. You come right to the Nest. You can do everything right here in our whole company. So people love the Nest. It's a huge, powerful resource that we have here at Samson. Closing up here, I've got a couple more thoughts. One is our culture. You can see that we're starting to put this on all of our different walls. It's our culture wall. Be nice, be professional, pay it forward. We're all about family, integrity, education when it comes to real estate, giving back, and being innovative at all times. Those are a lot of our core values. These core values are most on display at a couple things. Our sales meetings. We have 3 a month. 2 are our main ones we do in our headquarters here at Chantilly, where Sarah and I, and sometimes my dad are up here, and we go over all things Samson. Then the second Wednesday of every month is our Maryland, D.C. Focus meeting, where we go out to our Maryland, D.C. office, and we have the meeting live there. All of them are streamed on the Nest, so you can watch them wherever you are. Now, they're not boring. First of all, they're not mandatory. If you start to shudder a little bit. But 2, they're not boring. We don't let people stand up and go, I have a townhouse in Burke. It's got 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and it backs to trees. Nobody cares. Okay? What we want is, what's going on in the market today? What are some great tips on technology? What are some great tips on marketing? How are you seeing open house traffic in general? How are we seeing offer traffic? What are some great ways to win bids? What are some great ways to win over buyers or listings or whatever it is that generally is helping us? We give the lender 5 minutes and the title company 5 minutes so we can talk on those different topics. But we make them fun, we joke, but we also are very serious about helping build everybody's business with some togetherness. We're better all together. So that's why we do these meetings, to kind of help everybody out, but also show our culture. The last thing I want to show you about our culture is our fall festival. So we just had it a couple weeks ago, so sorry if you haven't joined us yet, you just missed a heck of a party. But when we think about a company holiday party, and that's what a lot of companies do, right? They'll do some random thing at the country club, and everybody comes in on a random Tuesday in December, and they have their 2 drinks, and they get a sitter, and it's fine, right? But what we started thinking about was, what are we about? We're about family. We're about having a good time together. So we're like, if we're going to spend all this money on some party, let's make it a party everybody wants to go to. So we just had our 4th family festival that my dad, it was his brainchild, and he loves it. My dad will be retired long and gone. He's still going to come back every year and plan this festival and love to be a part of it, because this is the number one thing that we can do to show and love on each other and with our agents. So we have a big party all day from noon to 9 p.m. with everything you can see there. Moon bounces, zip lines, pony rides, concerts all day, every mechanical bulls. I got in the dunk tank this year for 30 minutes, and everybody got to come and dunk me for raise money for charity. But we have a ton of fun, and it's really what we're all about. It's family and showing appreciation to our agents and our staff, but also enjoying each other. So that's what we do every year, typically in October. Next one's October 22nd, 2022. So you can circle that on your calendar now, 2222. But that's a great thing we do as part of our culture. I'm going to close with a couple rules here, and then I'll be done. I believe we have 4,800 independent contractors at Samson, and I want to let you guys have the ability to run your own business the way you want. We have a couple rules, and those have to do with our reputation in the industry. So what does that mean? When you're working with buyers, you're allowed to give whatever cash back you want. You got your best friend, your cousin, your sister, whoever you want to give them 2% back, you go ahead. You don't have to ask my permission. What you can't do is advertise more than 1% cash back. So if you send 10,000 flyers around town saying, I'm going to give you 2% cash back, well, that makes us all look bad, right? All of a sudden, we become the company that gives back 2% cash back. So I don't want to do that. You can't advertise more than 1% cash back, but you can do whatever you want to get the deal done or to make a friend happy or a past client or whatever. That's on you. Now, for listings, I have a couple rules. One, you have to offer out at least 2.5% in Bright as compensation, or CVR MLS, or whatever MLS you're in, RAIN. Why? Because I'm trying to keep buyer agency up for the whole community, for the whole real estate industry. I know that 5% of listings right now are offering less than 2.5%. We don't want to be about 5%. We want to be in the 95%. We want to keep having a great reputation. And if our whole society, as a real estate industry, we've already shrunk from a lot of listings of 3 to mostly 2.5, right? Well, I don't want to help be the person that helps contribute getting us down to 2%. Now we're never going to get it back up again, and buyer agency will be stuck at 2% forever. So we're going to try and toe line on 2.5% for as long as we can, so we can keep buyer payments up for all of our realtors out there. Now, you can charge whatever you want. Your next door neighbor, or your sister, or your cousin, whoever it is, and you want to charge them 0.5% or no money, and just put in an MLS for 2.5%, that's on you. I don't think it's a good lifelong time goal, but maybe they're selling this $500,000 house, and you know they're buying a $1 million house down the street, and you want to be on the buy. Well, great. Well, maybe you do want to sell their house for 0.5% or whatever it is. You cut them whatever deal you want. Now, most of our company charges 5, 5.5%, 6%, but we allow you to charge whatever you want to get that deal happen. You are not allowed to advertise, though, less than 4.5%. If you want to do a deal at 0.5%, that's fine. But if you send 10,000 flyers around town saying, I'll list your home at 1%, we at Samson get a name for people that list homes at 1%. So we want to stay away from all those kind of reputation issues in the future. So can't advertise less than 4.5%, but you can list whatever you want to get that deal or to make that family member, friends, past client, or wherever it was happy to get that business. Maybe it's a neighborhood you're trying to break into and you want to cut that first person a great deal. Go ahead, that's fine, that's on you. Now, I have talked for a long time about all the things that we do to try to help make you better. Hopefully you've gotten from me that it's never about how much money I'm going to charge you or make off you, but how I can help you make more money. How I can make you more successful, more profitable, love the company you work for. That's my goal when I go to bed at night. Not how can I make more money off this person or more money off this person. It's how can I make this company better for all of you. Now, for all of these things, financially it doesn't work at just the $345 admin fee, right? It's just, you guys are smart enough to realize that the numbers don't work. I ask one thing in return for all of this that I get. Try and use Cardinal Title Group. I can't make you, I can't pay you, and I can't incentivize you to use Cardinal Title Group. All those things are illegal. Any title companies out there that are paying you, that's illegal, okay? But what I can promise is that if you pour into Cardinal Title Group and you use them, we're going to take those profits and make Cardinal Title Group and Samson Properties better. You have home field advantage. You can use any of our local offices that make it easier for you to close in a comfortable, great environment with comfortable, great people you know. Now, the other stat I'm going to give you before I close up on Cardinal Title Group is this. 2 years ago, we had 2,000 agents, and we got about 55% of our transactions, buy-side transactions, will go to Cardinal Title Group. That's fantastic. You ask any company out there about capture rate, they're happy at 10, 15, 20%. 55% was amazing. So 2 years later, we have almost 5,000 agents spread out in a much wider bandwidth, and that number's got to go down, right, Donny? I mean, there's no way you can keep that percentage as you grow and more people to keep happy. Well, today, we are getting 65% of our buy-side transactions card. 65%. Why and how? 2 reasons, I think. One, we've gotten so much better at Samson that people are, when we give so much more to you than we did a couple years ago, that people are like, look, I really want to help. How can I get? Well, look, great, Donny, you take care of me, I'm going to try and take care of you. I think that's one thing. Second thing, though, is you can't, numbers don't lie, right, is we've gotten so much better at Cardinal Title Group with our staff in the last 2 and 3 years. We've hired so many great attorneys and processors and closers and everything you can imagine to make that company amazing. When people join Samson, I think some of them try Cardinal once because, look, Donny asked me to. Seems like a nice guy. He's giving me 100%, I'll try. But what would happen if they didn't do a good job? They'd stop after 1, or they'd give every 5th deal, or whatever, right? They keep coming to Cardinal because Cardinal's earning their business consistently by doing a great job. If they weren't, don't keep using them because you don't deserve to put your reputation on the line. First of all, let us know. We'll try and help it and make it better. Don't just bail on us. But my promise is that I am very involved with the running of Cardinal Title Group. I meet with the leads of Cardinal Title Group every single week. I personally read every single agent survey that comes in about Cardinal Title Group. I am very involved with making sure it becomes a top-notch title company. I think we're already there. If you had asked me 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, I'm going to be honest, we were a C+, B- title company a lot of the time, which isn't always acceptable. But now we've put so many resources into making it great that I believe we're an A+ title company right now. I really believe that and know that in my heart. So it's a win-win. You get an A+ real estate company, you get to keep all your money, you get to bring it to a title company that's an A+ title company, and they use that money to make both companies greater. This circle of win-win-win all around has just been what's helped us grow and go to the next level. Those were all the millions of words that I intended to say here today. I'm going to close with this. If you join Samson Properties, I can make this promise to you. We are going to do our very best to treat you like family and care for you, and you will love the company you work for. And I will promise you this, we are only going to get better. Today is the worst Samson Properties will ever be, as bad as that sounds. And we're so much better than we were 6 months ago and a year ago and 2 years ago. But I am obsessed with making this company better. And I will work tirelessly to make it better next week, and the week after that, and the week after that, and next month, and the month after that. And we're just going to keep on getting better. You're going to wake up 6 months from now and you're going to be like, wow, this company's even better than it was when I joined 6 months ago. We are a rocket ship going this way because we're taking the money and the resources that we're making from title companies, people are supporting us, and we're making it better with better staff and better offices and better tools to help you succeed. That's what you want. That's the company you want to be a part of going forward. I promise you we'll do our very best to be that for you. Thank you for all your time watching the video. I'd love to connect with you. If you want to shoot me an email or give me a call, we can meet on Zoom, in person, whatever the case may be. I'd love to talk to you more about Samson Properties. If you want to sign up, let us know. We'll get you signed up. We'll get you hooked up with Jessie Sanchez, and she'll get you all hooked up, our office manager. But thank you for your time, and I hope to see you around the Samson Properties location someday soon. Have a great day.